All right, well, everybody's got their pizza.
Looks delicious.
The only person
I hope that there's a cheese pizza.
There's no cheese pizza.
There has to be
I
a
will
cheese
bet
down
you money
there.
right now there's no cheese pizza.
I'm so sad. I'm so terribly sad. All right.
I will bet you a cheese pizza there's no cheese pizza.
Okay. No, I'm not. Why would I bet that? Because then I buy you a cheese pizza after there's no cheese pizza. I'm not taking that bet.
I thought I had you there.
All right. I almost did. I'm like, oh, wow, you're going to get me a cheese pizza? Okay. No. Anyways, first map, Daybreak.
Okay, now what do you think the score is going to be with these two? Because I'm going to go 2-1.
I think it will be 2-1. I think so much of this depends upon exactly what types of builds Creator wants to do. Because I feel like I already know what Bomber's going to do. He's going to macro like a fiend, and he's going to boost his metabacks around so quickly.
I feel like Bomber's one of these guys you want to cripple early on. That's the way to
could help for sure.
So we're going to see, though, as the game is now loaded here in Seoul, Korea, in our new studio at Samsung Station in Gangnam. We have the best StarCraft 2 players in the world for Heart of the Swarm to decide who is going to be the next world champion. Introducing our players in the upper right. In the blue, the only Protoss in this group. Will he get out? We're going to see soon. He is
Creator Prime.
One of 7 Protosses in this GSL Code S season.
That's right. And in the and in the bottom left, we have our Terran player. Very, very powerful. Will he be as strong here in Heart of the Swarm? He is.
StarTale Bomber.
We got a totally new setup here.
Yes.
At GSL. It's actually kind of funny because you were the one with the preview screen.
Yeah, we actually don't have a computer today. We'll have it next time. But
yep.
Look at how cool the new UI is. This is a new thing that you can do with StarCraft 2.
Right.
Custom UIs. And this is, look at that. That's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Do you see that? Like, look at this command center thing in the bottom right that we're looking at right now. I like the gray boxes around the things in the production tab. I love the production tab being big like that.
Well, it's nice because
where it says production, you know what you're looking at.
Oh, look at that. May God watch over you. All right. Can you read that?
Multi-Riker something?
I missed it.
I'm not sure.
I think that was intended for some special nerd somewhere that's watching.
Yeah, it could be. Well.
All right, anyways. No, I love this, these new features.
This little setup that we're watching right now, man, this is so cool. I can't wait to see all the different ways that people make this work, you know? Like, it's just, it's so neat.
Yeah, it's sick. I love the way that they're continuing to improve this.
Well,
it's really cool for Legend, too. I mean, Legend now has all these new ways that he can enhance our observing experience.
And look at how much more screen we can see.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really nice.
By the way, say hi to Legend on Twitter, guys.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Wait,
it's good.
Do you know his Twitter ID off the top of your head?
StarTale Legend.
StarTale Legend. It's just that. Okay, yeah.
I think so.
Send him some love, guys, because it's actually very difficult to observe games.
It is indeed.
Remember,
as AdaBC well knows.
Yeah, AdaBC knows. Yeah, the legendary AdaBC.
Yeah.
Who observes most foreign events.
Indeed. We do have a Reaper opening into expansion here from Bomber. The new Reaper in Heart of the Swarm, in case you guys have not been paying huge attention to Heart of the Swarm, just waiting for Code S or something like that. It's super fast. You don't need an add-on to make it. And it does much less damage to light units and to buildings. So it's a fantastic scouting unit right now, basically.
Yeah. And, of course, it regens really fast. I want to steal its stem cells, to be totally honest. It's like live forever.
That would not be a terrible choice. So we do have Bomber continuing to scout, trying to figure out exactly what's going on here.
Right.
And the Nexus goes up after the Reaper leaves, so he didn't get full intel. He could think anything's happening right now. In the meantime, Bomber adding another Rax. So he's going to have a lot of Marine production, and that should make him pretty safe overall. You know, you have to be careful if your opponent goes for something like, let's say, an Oracle Rush. You really need to be careful how many Marines. You want 6 Marines in your main base to really crush that Oracle.
Right.
When you start hitting lower numbers, then things are going to go very wrong for you.
There's a lot of shenanigans you can pull with that mothership early on. All right, now here, because this is going to be the moment of truth. Yeah, you can bring the pizza slice over. We're going to see it. Is there cheese?
There's no cheese
there's
pizza.
no cheese.
This is actually my
No,
life.
you can
This
leave
is
that right there. Thank you.
I've sacrificed myself living in Korea for StarCraft, and never can I ever have pizza.
We got the Reaper coming in here now. And I don't even think he's going to be able to get out, will he?
No, he'll get out. Reapers are so fast.
Yeah, they're just too good.
I just always assume the Reaper will live, because unless you really overextend with it, that little guy gets in and out every time, it seems.
And, of course, we have a hallucinated Phoenix coming in here, and this is a great way to scout.
Not just the hallucinated Phoenix. By the way, sentries now start with hallucination. Nice little change. We do have the Mothership Core coming over as well, and Mothership Cores do a good job of light harassment. And sometimes you'll see them kill a Marine that's out of position, maybe an SCV, or even time warp a mineral line to slow down the mining of their opponent.
I mean, you're probably not going to use the Mothership spells. You know, if you're not going to use them early on, you might as well just go in there and, time warp the SCVs, do something to slow them down, anything.
Well, that Reaper's still staying alive. In fact, going to clean out this scout from Creator. Ooh, what was that? That's interesting right there, that pylon.
Does he really want to do that? Or?
You know, he does have some more gates coming in, but I don't think he's going to, like, warp any units
That's why I'm
across the map. That would
surprised by it. I
shock me.
feel like he will inevitably lose that. There's, but I don't know. We'll see.
It's a funny pylon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's kind of a weird move, huh?
Yeah, he might have been waiting to see if other units were going to walk out through that direction or something like that. And in fact, he did force a couple bunkers to start, so he scared Bomber just a little bit there.
Yeah, more effective than I expected that to be.
Well, the Observer sees what's going on, and look at this. Whoa, Creator Prime really going into Colossus Tech and two Forges? No way, Creator Prime. Doing
He's
exactly what he
roots,
does.
Man.
Yes.
What I love about Creator's builds is that they're so solid.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, a lot of people watching here are not just here to be entertained, but they're here to learn because they want to go to the ladder, take the nerd ladder points.
Yeah.
As the Tasteless does, but
Tasteless.
as the Tasteless does. But you know, they don't know what build to use. What Creator's doing right now in a PvT, you could totally copy.
Yes.
And you could climb the ranks.
And, you know, it is a really great build, but you do have to be careful. There are ways that Terran can abuse it if you don't execute just perfectly. For instance, if you really commit to Colossus, they can throw up a second starport, get a lot of Vikings, and hit a little timing attack where they snipe your Colossus so quickly that you can't stop their bioforces. And from what we see from Bomber so far, there's no third command center. He's adding his extra Raxes, so he's committing to put on a lot of pressure and do some attacks, do some harassment as well in the mid game.
Yeah.
That is absolutely going to occur.
This is so cool.
Now, how many Colossi do you think Creator's going to get? I think he's actually going to go into Twilight here.
I think he's going to get 3.
I think this might just be the one Colossi build.
Oh, you know what? That could be good too. Okay, guys, one Colossi build. What you want to look for is Terran may overmake Vikings.
Yes. If they had to sing a starport, then they get in trouble.
What I like it more in this is you hallucinate like 2 Colossi.
Oh, yeah,
and then
you could do that.
You poke them. And then run away, and then all they'll do is they'll see the 2 Colossi, and that instant triggers them to stop making medevacs and make non-stop Vikings.
Yeah. Well, the Twilight Council is coming up. Definitely going to help him to start the 2-2. Notice still no Colossus range being researched, so that once again leads us to believe that this will be a single Colossi build. Just add a little bit of splash damage and hope your opponent over-counters it. And look at this. He's going to drop 1 Marine in, stim, and run around, see what's going on.
All right, and actually, it's going to be completely deflected. Really nicely done.
Yeah, very well done there.
That is smart. Much smarter to do that than get into a scan.
It's very
I know that Marine is going to be very scared doing that.
Yeah. Right now, he's just scouting with medevacs, just boosting in, seeing where units are, seeing if he can find anywhere to drop, anywhere to harass.
Oh, and guys, add our new sponsor on Twitter.
Yeah.
Send them some love.
MangoSix_KR. Tell them that you love them and that when you visit Korea, you absolutely will drink coffee only.
Only coffee.
From MangoSix.
No water. No water.
Yeah, and only from MangoSix.
And only from MangoSix. All right, so I'm kind of intrigued by this little expansion here from our Terran player. He's going to push out.
Isn't that quite Bomber-esque?
It's very Bomber-esque. He's like, well, this base is closer to him, so when I start to push nonstop, I will get there a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
Not exactly safe, but I mean, let's see, what are the supplies? All right, once again, Bomber already ahead in supply.
He's already starting his Ghost, though. And this actually makes me feel like Bomber's still in a good spot. You know, he really committed to making a lot of units early on and got a very late third command center, but with the speed of his ghosts, it isn't going to matter as much. What's really going to get him is how good Creator's upgrades are, because Bomber's about to finish up his 1-1, whereas 2-2's halfway done for Creator. So he's going to be probably 2 upgrades up for the majority of this game.
Bomber probably can't attack into Creator for a while. He might anyways because it's Bomber.
Yeah, could happen. His supply is reasonably higher right now, 153 to 137. And he made a lot of Vikings. He definitely overcommitted there. He's been slightly tricked. You know, he never really did get those good scouts off, and Bomber's such a macro fiend, he doesn't like to scan. He likes to drop those mules. So he has way overproduced Vikings at 6. Now, 6 Vikings is overkill against 1 unranged Colossi.
When you've got, hold that thought. Actually, he's going to try to come in here, and it looks like it's some. Oh my God, he's bringing SCVs too. He's coming here now and hitting hard. Yeah, definitely overproduced the Vikings there.
Ooh, that EMP pushing him back a little bit. Right now, Creator's a little bit scared. He's got to hit his storms.
Oh, nice dodge there again.
And a beautiful storm going down, hitting a lot of these Marines. And it looks like he doesn't have any storms left, but everything has been damaged.
Here. I think he just... There's not enough Stalkers that he can actually kite the Immortals so that they never do enough damage. More Marines coming here.
But that is Archons in there as well. He's dealing a lot of damage. And the medevacs are starting to get picked off. And it looks like this battle...
Really nicely done there by Creator.
Definitely going in his favor.
Let's look at that situation back there. We had the fully upgraded Protoss looking fantastic with some storms ready. I think you want to go for a big drop in the main.
You know, it would have been probably more effective than what we saw.
Oh my God, he's going to do it again.
We actually don't have any High Templars, so this is a good move. There's very little splash. It's only Archons for splash right now.
Does he? I guess he's taken pretty much every SCV.
Yeah, this is... Bomber knows he's too far behind. He's got to get something done, and this is the exact time to do so. But his SCV's not getting in front right now. He's got to have those up front.
Now they're finally here. The SCVs, it doesn't matter if they die as long as the Marines and the Marauders get them back, continue to deal the damage. But Creator is slowly but surely pushing his opponent back in GG.
Well done here.
Wow.
And wow.
Creator ain't having none of that.
I've got to say that was well done by Creator. Bomber misreading the situation. This is really what has happened. You know, if he had actually gotten that Stim Marine to scout through, or perhaps used a scan when it didn't work, he could have been able to tell that it's a 1 Colossus build. He built 6 Vikings, and then when his attack came in, the splash damage of the High Templars that he wasn't as ready for really dealt the damage that Creator needed to stabilize.
I feel like what Bomber did back there was a little bit too Wings of Liberty-esque. Protoss has a lot more tools at their disposal to deal with you know, that trick where you pull your workers and sacrifice your economy for one big attack.
Sure.
Because they got... I'm always calling it the Nexus Cannon. What is the proper term for it?
Photon Overcharge.
Photon Overcharge.
But we will be calling it Nexus Cannon.
All right, we'll just call it that. And then, of course, you know, they got the Time Warp. Or Quagmire. I believe it's called Quagmire.
Wait, Time Warp.
Is Time Warp? Okay, no, not Quagmire.
Perhaps it creates a Quagmire for the units within it. But
So you got those 2 abilities. And with that, there's no way. I don't know, man. Don't laugh at me anymore. No, but seriously, you got those 2 abilities. It's going to be really hard for a guy with infantry to actually do that kind of damage to you.
Yeah. You know, definitely Terran's going to have to fall back on some medevac harassment and whatnot. But,
right.
You know, I think Bomber has to be very careful about his scouting. He has to know exactly what Creator's going for, because if you let Creator live too long, when you do a build like that, he will kill you with his upgrades.
Well, he's going for the end game.
Yes,
Creator wants to get to that perfect position where he cannot lose. All right, guys, we're going into game number 2. Is Bomber going to come back, or is Creator going to close this out? We're going to find out soon. I'm Tasteless, with me is Artosis, and this is the GSL Codex. All right, in the bottom left with very conventional play, we have our only Protoss player in this group, 1 of 7 in this tournament. He is...
Creator Prime.
And in the upper left, we have our Terran player, a macro beast. Can he win the next 2 games? He is...
Bomber.
Well, This map, Tasteless, when you ask if he can win the extra games, I would say I think he can win this one. Because this map, the third base is going to be very difficult for Creator to take and to hold. It's got a lot of surface area on it, either one that you want to try to take. And it's going to be a difficult situation moving your army back and forth. There's a lot of open ground where Bomber can get great concaves. Definitely Creator's army can get out of position where the medevacs can do their damage through harassment. So I feel like this is a great map for Bomber here.
Yeah,
definitely a map where Tosis has thumbs down in his ladder pool.
With Bomber here, I think you're right, and this is of course the map that he preferred since loser picks. But going into this, I'm curious if he's going to do anything else like what we saw in Game 1, that SCV pull, for instance. We don't. I mean, there was a period for those of you guys who didn't follow us in Wings of Liberty, where pretty much every Terran pulled his SCVs for a big battle. Took all the SCVs, and I mean it makes sense because you can keep landing mules to get some money to get the next few rounds.
Well, it gives you a big swing in units for one battle.
Because the way the AI works, it'll attack whatever's attacking it that's closest.
Yeah.
So it will not prioritize, for instance, the Marines in the background.
And with the high damage output of the Terran army, it definitely helps out a lot. So
right.
Definitely something that has to be watched. Now, Bomber getting into Scout looks approximately the same from Creator as last game, and Bomber definitely doing the same build as before, the Reaper into Reactor with the Command Center. So pretty similar openings for both players. This time the Reaper going to want to get a little bit better scouting done, perhaps.
All right, he's hitting that Zealot and hitting it hard and continue to push in here. Now he's got to avoid the Stalker. But I love these Reaper openings. It's good to see the Reapers back, actually.
Certainly.
When the game first came out for Wings, man, remember that was the reign of Maka Prime. Just continuously making. He would have like 15, 20 Reapers.
Yeah.
Kiting roaches.
It was a dark time, Tasteless.
Yes.
The dark ages of StarCraft 2.
But so then it got nerfed. But then eventually. Did he see it?
Oh, yes, he did. That's pretty awesome. To actually see the Stargate, now you know that this is either a Void Ray All-In or an Oracle. And you can definitely prepare for both. Now that it was scouted, I would say for certain he should go for an Oracle.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to... The Oracle, even if they defend against it, is still going to be useful. You're still going to be able to fly around. It's going to keep their units in certain areas.
You could track Widow Mines with it, too. That comes up.
Revelation, always a great ability.
Sure.
And, of course, if you continue to make them, then suddenly you can overwhelm a player that is not on top of realizing this. You know, if you have 2 Oracles, they kill a lot of Marines. You have 3, oh my god, it is a brutal massacre. And in fact, he did start a 2nd Oracle.
So, again, continuing the defensive play. And by the way, over here, Bomber is, and he's ready for the Oracle to come in here. He's got his Marines in that back area. The Oracle dies really fast. It's a very quick unit, but you got to be very careful.
Yeah, it's very low on health. So he's going to fly and see what he can see. Good scouting going on.
Whoa!
Way too many Marines for him to actually do anything, and a little bit of sloppy play there.
I cannot believe he actually got through there.
He tried attacks several times there, and it just did not work out at all.
All right, looks like he might try to... Oh, careful, Creator.
You know, he's killed 1, and he's spent basically all of his energy. This Oracle won't be able to attack for a very long time now because it's going to need to have 25 to activate, as well as additional energy to actually attack. So the 2nd Oracle that comes out can't team up with the 1st.
Right.
But,
very ineffective attack there. I mean, if you get in there with the Oracle, you can kill 8 SCVs easily if they're not ready.
And
this
if
is
they
the opener
are ready,
that I'm doing all the time right now. And it's
if they're completely ready, too, turning off the Oracle isn't bad. You can turn it off, continue your scouting, and then get out of there.
Looks like he's coming in here again. Getting just 1 SCV. He's got to be careful. Oh! Losing the Oracle over there. Now he's down to just 1 Oracle.
Yeah, and that Oracle actually had to shut off because he just didn't really have the energy. But that's okay. Right now, he does have an additional base, and he still has an Oracle out there. So that's going to keep Bomber sitting at home for a little bit longer. You know, eventually we may see him throw up a missile turret or perhaps make a Widow Mine or 2.
Sure.
All these things can stop an Oracle Dennis.
You've got to be careful about those Widow Mines. That really does not allow you to just go in there and try to punish a Terran player.
Now, we do see the robotics bay coming up, so Colossus Tech on the way for Creator, but will he do a Colossus all-in because of his poor start and the difficulty of the map, or will he add his custom forges? It looks to me like he's probably going to do some sort of Colossus all-in. And I think that that's a completely fine choice. You know, his Oracles got scouted. This is, as I said before, a harder map to take a third on than many maps.
Right.
So to do an all-in in a best-of-3 in a situation like this, I think it's a good choice.
If he does go for it all-in, it's not uncommon to send the Mothership core into the main of the Terra and try to get some Marines up there. They use the Time Warp or Quagmire, whatever I made of it, and use that on them. And then what you do is you force field the ramp. And just hit hard the Terran's entrance. It's a really good way to do the all-in.
Well, let's see what he wants to end up doing. He's getting that range, getting that Colossus as well. So this is definitely looking like, yeah, that's an invisible observer. That's what they look like.
That's what they look like, man.
But it's
a Predator.
This is so looking like a one-base all-in. I'd be so surprised if it was not.
Well, I think the only other thing the Creator could do is maybe hide a base. You know,
I guess,
take expand to the top right and just, you know, make it look like they're dead even or something, and then go from there.
I can.
You know what I mean?
Like totally,
you could do that.
Have you been playing at all on the North American server?
Yes.
All right, I was just checking because when you said that, it reminded me of some games that I played on there recently.
On the Korean server, people don't hide bases as much.
No, not
you know
very
what I mean? When you go to the North American server, I'm like, oh, he.
But the thing is, you're completely right. That is a valid strategy. That absolutely can work. But it does look like he's just adding those 3 gates, man. He's getting ready to try to crush Bomber here. But Bomber, he overcommits. He's going to be in a world of hurt.
Bomber's strength is sometimes his greatest weakness because, yeah, he doesn't need to do this. And guys generally don't do this against a Protoss on 2 bases.
No, wait till they're on 3. If they're sitting on 2, not moving out, you should not be able to do damage. That is a fact.
Well, the pilots could just barely not see him. Oh, this could be bad. The Stalkers, they have to hit that before he comes out. Okay, here we go.
All right, let's see if this drop can do some serious damage. The Photon Overcharge, the Nexus Cannon coming out. Probably should be targeting Medivacs with that.
I was going to say, a little bit sloppy there. Oh, you're
just barely doesn't kill it. A little tip for people, if you have units incoming, you definitely want to target the Medivacs because it puts a timer on how long the drop can be there before they sacrifice everything.
They either have to commit or they have to pull out immediately. And even if they pull out immediately, you can end up getting the Medivac. And this is where, you know, drops can be a double-edged sword because you can do a lot of damage and catch them off guard, but you can also simply lose your Medivacs and everything inside of them, and then you're just behind.
Well, it looks like it's about time, Tasteless. We are going to see Creator move out relatively soon here. He's getting a Warp Prism, a very interesting choice indeed.
Well, it looks like he wants to actually commit to an attack here. He might want to do something like, well, I don't know if we're going to see it now because his Oracle is going to be picked off, but probably get a Warp Prism over there, warping some Zealots in the main, go to where the SCVs are while he hits the front of the Terran's base.
Well, right now with 14 Stalkers, 3 Colossus, 10 Zealots, 6 Sentries, that's a pretty deadly army, and Bomber shouldn't be moving across the map like this. He should have realized by now that this is actually a 1-base all-in, and if you're on 2 base, oh my god, what? Okay, well, this might actually end up working. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, all right, well, he's got to have a perfect spread here.
I don't like it, though, Tasis. He's playing against someone who's put no money into anything except trying to get a big army. So if there was a time to hold this, this is now. But Bomber, with his huge amount of supply, he may be able to break through. He has a lot of Vikings.
All right, well, if he doesn't, the Bomber's dead because that Warp Prism will get in there and he will just start doing damage.
One of these players is about to win this game. The other, Tasteless,
is about to die or lose.
Yes. Here we go. We do have a few ghosts in here for some EMPs as well.
All right, here we go.
Wow, the Viking just targeting us down. And the second one getting targeted as well. The Zealot's actually stuck behind Stalkers here. And Bomber, have you done it?
You know, he might have. The Zealots need to get up there and sponge up the damage. And he needs to warp in another wave of Zealots. But the Concave here is also incredibly good right now for our Protoss player.
It is, but this is Marine Marauder Medevac against Stalkers, and Stalkers absolutely are not good against this unit composition.
Still waiting for more Zealots to be warped in here, but it might just be too late. We may be going on to game number 3. That is the tipping point, I do believe, in GG.
Wow, very close there. That was a risky move by Bomber, but you realize that with only Colossi for splash damage, that can be detrimental. You know, without any side storms in there, the SCV pull with the Mass Vikings becomes very powerful.
It really is strong. For a little bit there, I didn't think that was going to work, by the way.
No, it was actually pretty darn close, to be honest.
I think if the Zealots had been up in the front, I'm not saying he would have held it, but it was getting close to the very end there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Tosis, who's going to win this one?
I'm still going with Bomber. You know, there's just a few things that we're seeing from Creator. I don't think he's really adjusted to Heart of the Swarm as well as he did to Wings of Liberty quite yet.
Right.
You know, there's obviously a very talented player, very strong Protoss, but there are a few little things that I see that I do question. You know, some of the Oracle movements not as swift. You know, again, he goes for a starport opening against Reaper on a map where Reaper can get in anywhere. Or not anywhere, but in a lot of different areas.
Yeah,
that's going to make it very hard.
Probably hide the starport somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe if he wants to really do damage with it.
Proxy it or something.
Yeah. Also, not targeting the medevac with the Nexus cannon.
Oh yeah,
that I felt like was a little bit of a mistake as well. So I'm still feeling Bomber, and the map is rolling, so that's a big, wide open map. And I tell you what, even Wings of Liberty, it was hard to stop Terran drops there. But with the medevac boost, Creator's really going to have to be on top of things.
Bomber's always been good at Whirlwind. Even against Zerg, he's been fantastic.
Well, it's, you know, anyone that can make that many units is going to be well suited for such a map.
That's true. Bomber's sort of like a Terran player, but Zerg inside, the way he operates, you know, matches all those units and stuff. And it looks like we're almost ready to do this.
I'm pretty excited, Tasteless.
I'm amped, I'm pumped. So get ready, guys. Spread the word again. We're here in the new studio for the GSL Code S down in Gangnam. Same place as the Gangnam Style song. Balling out of control. All right, so we're going to see who's going to go on to face off against Roro. Will it be Bomber or will it be Creator? We're going to find out soon here at the GSL Code S. All right, in the upper left, in the red, doing a lot of mid-game SCV all-ins with the rest of his army, he is
Creator Prime.
and in the upper left, we have our Terran player. He is
StarTale Bomber.
You notice me bungle that, Artosis?
Yes, that's okay though.
Right as I did it, I'm like, oh.
That's, how can we do GSL without you bungling things?
No, that's the best part is when I bungle the intros. All right, so
Tasteless thinks he's a commentator. He's actually like the jester of the GSL sitting next to me.
Do you remember we had this joke like, what if I forget if we said it with you or me, but what if like there's all these people in here just actors in the studio and everything, and it's just because one of us wanted to pretend they had a TV show.
Yeah.
We open up that camera and it's just full of jelly beans. It's not even a real man. We're not going out.
Play-Doh comes out of the lens.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're going to see a Nexus first here from Creator. Not a terrible choice for the map. We don't see... I haven't actually seen any Nexus first so far against Terran in Heart of the Swarm, but no reason it shouldn't be able to work here, really. Bomber looks like he's just going for a one-rax expand, so very normal openings for this map.
Yeah.
As far as Wings of Liberty goes, at least.
This map either requires very conservative play or really extreme, like all-in proxy stuff. This is our biggest map. I believe it's still our biggest map.
Yes.
In GSL.
I
don't know if you can actually have a bigger one. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can even pull that off because that's when it just starts to get insane.
Yeah, like this map as is so big that, you know, yeah, I really don't think we'll see a bigger one than this,
Probably
to be honest.
not.
I think this might end up being the biggest pro map ever, like through the history of StarCraft 2. I could see that being the case.
Do you think we're ever going to see island maps?
Well, I think Arkanoid was about as close as we're going to get to that, to be honest. I don't think we'll see island maps.
There used to be island maps.
I think the game would degenerate too quickly.
Well, the problem with island maps is, I mean, how do you balance that?
You simply cannot.
It's completely different.
One rate, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's based off of land routes for balance.
Now, here's an idea.